listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Hey, I'm finally here. Well, I had a lot of trouble getting on. Let me see, 6 minutes worth of trouble, or 7. Summer mentioned just before my show about the planets, everybody being retrograde and bumping into each other or something. Well, I guess I got in the middle of it. But here we are, March 13th, 2012. And the topic today is looking for Steve Jobs on the other side. You know, kind of ambitious, don't you think, of me to give this a try? I've been a little nervous about it because, you know, I never know if I'm going to find the people I'm looking for on the other side. So far, I always have, and some have been great and some not so great. I was chatting or calling out to him for the last day or two. Please show up. I hope I hear from you. Haven't seen him, so we'll see what happens. But, you know, I'm never afraid to jump into something and give it a try. And if you're all willing to see what happens, stay tuned. In the meantime, I do take your calls on my show, and I look into your lives, other people's lives, look into heads, tell you what people are thinking, feeling, doing, that kind of thing. I talk to dead people, live people. I help you with your problems. I send you good energy. I help to, or I work to make good changes in your life. Again, I try and do it all. And here's a phone number. This is good all over the world. Are you ready? It's 1-877-230-3062. 1-877-230-3062. And I just wanted to read you something here. Although all my papers are all over the place since I was trying to get on air, just throwing things around. This is a testimonial from a phone reading I did. I've talked to this lady before. She's in Canada. And the last time I spoke with her, I had to do a lot of work with her mother, her old mother, her very stubborn old mother. Apparently, her mother and dad had gotten a cat, and a male cat, I believe, and the mother wanted to declaw him. Of course, it's not a good idea to declaw a cat. There are other things you can do. But she sent me, and so I had to go in the mother's head and worked and worked and worked. And I'll tell you, I worked really hard, and I didn't know that I had affected a good outcome because the mother was really stubborn. Good morning, Venus, says this lady. I talked with you a short while ago about my parents and the new kitty they have and how they were thinking of having him declawed because he was letting them know he wanted back into the house by jumping on the screen door. You went into my mom's head and then my dad's to really convince her not to have that procedure done. I have finally received word back that they are just going to have his claws trimmed. Yahoo! I love it. I get some interesting jobs here, jobs to do. And, okay, let me get the next thing up here. All right, I am going to, I put myself to task here. We're going to look for Steve Jobs. I think you all know who Steve Jobs is. He died very recently. He's the one behind the iPad, the all the technology, Apple, etc., and he had pancreatic cancer. And he got thinner and thinner and thinner, and as you know, he wore black, long-sleeved turtlenecks all the time and blue jeans. And I really don't think I need to explain anymore because if you don't know about Steve Jobs, you probably wouldn't be on the computer because what he did and has affected just about everything in our technological lives. So I am going to check him out. I'm going to see if I can get him. So Steve Jobs, oh, please, please come and talk to us. Don't make me look like a fool. You know, periodically I have to look like one. Let's not make it today. So I'd love to talk to you. Oh, he's here and he's laughing. That's very funny. And you know who I've been seeing also? If you read my blog, you probably read Dead Man Talking about my friend Regina, her husband Bruce, that keeps coming to me all the time. He was a friend of mine, too. He's dead. Bruce came to me earlier, and I was saying, oh, my gosh, I got to talk to Steve Jobs today. Bruce was very technologically minded, and he's also here, and he's smiling and laughing. I don't know how they do it over there. I mean, we certainly wouldn't have met Steve Jobs in life, not really, but Bruce is there, too, so that's very interesting. Thank you, Bruce. If you had anything to do with this, I need to talk to Steve now. And I see similarities between you and Steve, but let's concentrate on Steve because, let's face it, Bruce, nobody knows you out there in the world, except for a few of us who love you. So back to Steve Jobs. Steve, it's really nice to see you here. I'm glad you're fine. You are fine, aren't you? How are you doing over there? I know you had a rough time getting over because of your situation. How did that go for you? You know, what I'm leading up to is how he said as he was dying, he said, oh, wow. I'm talking to the radio audience now. Do you all remember him saying that, reading about that? A number of people have asked me to ask you about that, Steve. So, I'll just jump right in and ask you, what was that all about? He's saying things like more magnificent than I had ever imagined. And he's comparing that world to this world and technology. And he says something about what we do in the world or the earth, the technological things and the marvels are many. It's only a small part of a sample, a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of what is happening on the other side here. He said, it's just like he has fields to run in. He's showing me there's so much to do and know along those lines. There's so much of it over there. It's just what apparently the other side is made of, these energies. And he said he's just running and leaping through it all like a kid jumping in the air, clicking his heels, that kind of thing. And that's why Bruce is here. He's smiling and laughing because he feels the same way. Because they have that in common, and Bruce has found the same thing. So, Steve, anything you want to say to us? He said, well, he misses his family, but you know how it is. He says, I can see them anytime or whatever, he said. But it's easier for me because I'm here and there. I can see through the veil. He said, the veil. He says, you talk about the veil. And he said, it's just, and he starts talking to me in like technical language about what the veil is. And I'm saying, don't try and talk to me technically. That's not my strong point. Maybe you could show me. So he's trying to show me it's like a hanging curtain of energy. And you could call the energy by different names. And it fluctuates, he says, and it moves. He's showing me it hangs down like a long drape, but he's showing it to me as white and glistening with brilliant little sparkles in it, and it moves. It moves like in a gentle wind. It's sort of a rolling effect. Small rolling effect is what he's showing me. And he says, this is the veil which you speak of. And he was saying that with me, I'm able to go across the veil. I just like step through it somehow. But many people don't know how to do that. Or they do it, but they do it when they're in another consciousness, sleeping or daydreaming or whatever, and they're not aware of what they're doing. I was able to figure out what I was doing. That's the only difference. But there's a lot of people out there, Steve, who are listening who probably are aware they're doing this. He said, yes, and I was doing that. He said, when I was in the body, when I was alive, I was doing that all the time. He says, where do you think my ideas came from? He said, I used to think it was just me and that I was brilliant. But he said, I was picking things out across the veil. He says, I was traveling back and forth a lot. He says, many people do this, inventors and scientists and people who come up with medical things. Oh, all kinds of things. He says, you just come to this space, and you collect them, although there are many spaces and places, many mansions, so to speak. And the overall feeling I get while I'm looking at Steve and talking to him is that he is having the time of his life. If you want to put it that way. His new life, he's just running and jumping and collecting and putting ideas and thoughts together. And what are you going to do with those? He's putting things together, like Tinker Toys. Do you remember Tinker Toys? Way back in time, it's like doing things like that. He used that word maybe because it's from his childhood and mine, I don't know. But, and then what he's planning to do, he says he's with a lot of people over there who are involved in what he's doing. They do the same or similar things. They're putting things together, making things, broadening things. They're working on this side. He's so excited, he can hardly talk slow enough for me to get it all. But they're working on communications on the other side between that side and this side. They're involved in that, and also communications over there. More communications between all of them and over there, because there's different dimensions and levels. And I'm more interested in the communication with us over here. And so I'm asking him if he'll tell us more about that. If he can, well, he said he's working to learn all these things and then influence people on our side of the veil. People he knows, people he doesn't know, people whose minds are open and able to collect. He's attempting to put what he's learning in the minds of people he's worked with here. But he says it shows no borders or boundaries. It's not staying with one nation or one company, which is good to hear, since, that makes sense to me, is what I'm saying. I'm just listening. Is there anything else you want to tell us? Anything else you want to say? Because I'm on the radio and I don't have much time here. But I'm just listening. I just have to keep talking because I'm on the radio and I can't stop. So you have to talk over me. All right. Anything else you want to say, Steve, to anybody down there? What's coming up or what's happening? There's more things happening, of course, more things coming. Quite a few more things coming that will seem so beyond what we're doing now, even. That what we have now, what we're doing now, will seem very antiquated, quaint, whatever. More to come, he says. There's more to come, much more to come. And he says, any of you who want to join me, I'd be happy to work for you. If you're open and you're of the same mindset or doing things, he said, I'm putting it out there. So that's interesting, an interesting call to all of us. I'm probably not one of them, but I'm sure there's a lot of you out there. So, okay, well, my time here is just pretty much up. So before I have to go for a break, anything either of you want to say? I say either because my friend Bruce is still there. He's having the time of his life. Bruce is having a wonderful time meeting Steve Jobs, and I think they'll be talking together too. Pretty darn cool. Thank you very much, Steve. I think you know how much everybody misses you and the great person they think you are. And he says, I still am. He has a sense of humor. I still am. He says, I'm still busy. I'm still working. I'm working much bigger, broader, wider. That's the main thing he's got to say, is he's just full of it. He's just so full of energy and ideas, and it's like he's been let loose out of a box. He can roam the universes. He can collect whatever he needs. Well, do you plan to, I don't really believe in reincarnation myself, but you plan to come back anytime soon? He says, he's just laughing. He hasn't even thought of that. He says, I'm too busy here, learning too much. Thank you very much, Steve. I'm so glad you came through. I really appreciate your time and attention and meeting you, too. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, now I have to get back and try and be a bit sensible, but you know what? I'm going to pull myself together over the break here. We have a short break. When I come back, I'll take your calls and do some other things. Venus Andrecht with the Dear Venus Show.
Venus thinks the world needs cheering up. Let me tell you, her blog certainly does that. Every week it's a true story about her life and the people in it. Here are a few comments. Oh, thank you. I am laughing so hard. Every Wednesday it's great to start my day like this. And love, love, love to read your blogs. You always make my day. I have emailed your blogs on to many people this year. And your blogs are profound, prophetic, and wise. They make me laugh and cry and everything in between. And, okay, Venus, I almost spewed coffee out of my nose reading this one. Too funny. By the way, her family subscribes to her blog for their own protection. You can subscribe too. Just look for the orange-colored feed at the top of the blog. You can find the latest and often harrowing adventures in Venus's life at godisalwayshappy.com/blog. That's godisalwayshappy.com/blog.
Do you know that all of the Dear Venus shows are archived? You can listen to them anytime. To find the Dear Venus show with Venus Andrecht on iTunes Podcasts, the archive shows, or to have the current show emailed you each week, go to Venus's website at godisalwayshappy.com. Click on the radio section on the homepage. That's all there is to it. You can have Venus with you anytime, all the time. You may start to feel like she's moved in with you. You can find her archive shows at godisalwayshappy.com in the radio section on the homepage.
Venus has become a little gnome in the back room, busily painting switches for your wall lights and 6x8-inch Good Luck Mojo paintings. Why? Because she started painting light switches for people who listen to her Dear Venus show. Every time you turn on these light switches, you turn on the good mojo energy. Well, the wall plates are a big hit, and Venus can barely keep up with the demand. You can see and purchase them on her artmojos.com website. And many of you have asked Venus to paint smaller, good mojo art so you can put it up in your office cubicles, your car, smaller rooms in your house, and so you can carry it around with you. So now the gnome named Venus is busy making little 6x8-inch paintings filled with light and good energy of all different types and kinds. When you purchase any painting, you can email Venus exactly the kind of mojo you want put into it, and she'll put it there personally just for you. She'll write it on the back of the painting too, no matter what the size. To see the 6x8-inch paintings and all of her paintings, plus the light switches, please go to artmojos.com. That's artmojos.com.
You know what Venus's mojos are. They are the benevolent energies her mother taught her to pull from the universe. The good energy mojos of all different kinds that help people in all different ways. Venus gathers these energies up from the universe and tosses various ones to all of you each week on this radio show. On her website, Venus has 8 more pretty impressive mojos that have garnered many happy testimonials. Mojos that she has taped with extra added energy and had them each set to special music and turned into MP3s. You can purchase these MP3s off Venus's website for a nominal fee and listen to them over and over again. Venus currently has a special running on all 8 mojos for $20 off. You can find these mojos on Venus's website, godisalwayshappy.com. And there are more unique mojos coming as MP3s, so be sure and check back often to Venus's site, godisalwayshappy.com.
Did you know that Venus does private phone sessions where she digs into the problems or concerns you have with people in your life? These issues can be with men, women, or children, and they can be dead or alive. Venus works to give you a better understanding of what people are thinking about you and your problems. By doing this, she gives you knowledge and peace of mind. Venus also works to help change situations and bring good things into your life after each phone session. After the clock is turned off, Venus does something extra special for you. She asks the high beings to bring through a personal mojo, just for you. Something they feel you may need in your life to make things better. For Venus's rates, how she works, and to set up a session, please go to godisalwayshappy.com. That's godisalwayshappy.com. If you really want and need to know about someone or something, email Venus now.
You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Hey, welcome back. Well, now I know where you've been, some of you. Chat room over here. Some people still didn't realize there'd been daylight savings time here, and they were an hour behind. I wish I'd known that. I wish I'd thought that. I would have slept in or something like that. But anyway, glad to see you. I'm glad you're finally catching up with us all here. Next show, next week, every Tuesday it's a live show, and they're all archived, podcasts, and everything. March 20th, 2012, title is What Ages You the Most and How to Stop It. So we're going to talk about looking, feeling, and being younger. So be sure and be here next week. And then I have another blog. I put a blog out. I write a new blog, and it comes out Tuesday evening, California time, or late afternoon, every Wednesday. Boy, that keeps me busy. They're all true stories about what happens in my life. And you know, it's an odd thing. Odd things happen, but I'm writing the story, and then I don't know the outcome till I get to the end. And then it sort of writes itself. It's what it meant or what it means, or, there's some kind of little moral in it, moral of the story, let's say, or some thing I should notice. Anyway, so I just have been noticing that. The one that will be out today, and for those of you who subscribe to the blog, it'll be out, you'll get it midnight, 3 a.m., whatever your time is, Wednesday for sure. Tonight's title is The Secret to a Good Hair Day. Yes, and maybe it's not exactly what you might expect. So my blog is on godisalwayshappy.com/blog. And you can sign up at the top, the orange feed, RSS feed, and then you'll always get it and you won't miss it. All right, let's see. What else do you need to know before I move on here? Well, let me read you a little note from somebody that's kind of fun. I think we all need to laugh more out there. Hello, are you laughing? Are you having a good time out there? Is this a good day for you? Well, let's make it a cheerful day, shall we? At least for how many more minutes? 35 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever we've got. A note from Helen from the UK. You always make me laugh with your funny tales. Here's one that I thought would give you a laugh. I woke up before the kids and had a delicious shower and plodded down to the kitchen to make coffee. I was enjoying my cuppa when my 8-year-old Riley got up. Rubbing his sleepy eyes, he said to me, "Hi, Mummy. You have just reminded me I went to the bathroom last night and I missed the toilet. But I did clean it up with that towel you've got wrapped around your head." She says, ever had 2 showers in 20 minutes? I thought that was pretty cute because something I would do, something probably we would all do, right? All right, remember Free Mojo on my site, the MP3. Everything is always okay. And when you get that, you also get on my newsletter site. And I've been running a contest for new sign-ups. I choose a winner. I've been choosing a winner each week for a 15-minute free phone reading with me. I'll announce that winner after the next break, and also a winner of a 10-minute reading with me off the newsletter list. So let's get over here to the board. Let's go with Joan in Wisconsin. Joan, hello.
Hello. Hi, Venus.
How are you doing? Where are you in Wisconsin? What town are you in?
Probably the closest for you guys is Milwaukee. So
Milwaukee. All right. And what are we going to look at today, Joan?
First, I want to thank you for getting in contact with Steve Jobs, because I'm a designer and he really has affected my life tremendously. So, thank you.
Isn't it amazing how he's affected so many lives?
He really has, millions and millions.
Yes, and think what he's going to be doing from where he is now. Oh, my gosh.
That was exciting. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
I know, and the fact that we could open up to him to get his ideas. He's looking for minds and people to put his ideas through. So I would say anybody who thinks like that or understands it, open your mind. That would be very cool. And maybe when you get these ideas in your head, you could make a whole lot of money off them.
Excellent. Yes. That's always wonderful.
Yes. So what are we going to do for you, Joan?
I wanted to ask you if you would possibly get in contact with my cousin and his partner. They died in a plane crash on September 11th of 2008. So,
oh, wow. Which plane? Oh, wait. I just got chills all over, so they must be here. But which plane was it? What happened?
It was a small plane. They were going to their home up in northern Wisconsin. So
in northern what?
In northern Wisconsin.
So was it on the day of the plane crashes into the towers?
Yep, same day.
You are kidding.
No. The weird thing was I had called John when the first attacks were happening because he was always traveling. And I had this weird sense. I'm like, John, are you sure you're not on a plane? And he's like, no, I'm fine. Thank you so much for calling. And then 8 years later, this happened. So, yeah. It was very
okay,
important.
So wait a second. I'm mixed up. When did he die?
He died on September 11th of 2008.
8. Okay, September 11th, not the day. Okay.
No, it did not happen on that day.
Okay, so he's your cousin, and you said another man died too?
Yeah, his partner died with him.
Okay, and you need to know what?
I'm just wondering if they have any, I just want to make sure first that they're doing okay over there. My sense is that they are, and if they have any messages for me or anyone else who was left behind.
Okay, so we need the name of your cousin and the person who died with them, ages, what they did. That I just have to find him.
Yeah, John. It would be John and then Kurt. And John was my cousin, and Kurt was his partner.
Kurt, K or C?
It's a C.
Okay, and what were they? What kind of work did they do?
John was a very famous interior designer.
Interior designer, you said?
Interior designer in his business, and Kurt was his business partner.
Okay.
As well as his life partner.
Okay, got it. Do you mind telling me the name of the company they had?
Only because that's his last name, and I'm not sure that I want to say.
Okay, that's all right then. I'll just do it this way. Joan, how old are you, and what do you do?
I'm a graphic designer, and I'm 51.
Okay, let's go see what we can find. And did they die in Wisconsin?
Yes, they did.
Okay. All right. I'm talking. Oh, I've got chills again. Whew, they must be close.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Are you getting chills too?
Yes.
It's like I just felt this chill right over my right shoulder and my back. So somebody's there. I've never had it like that before. Like somebody was right leaning up against me. And then the first one I got was on the left side. Okay. Joan. Okay, let's go. John and Kurt. John and Kurt. The designers. They were with a big design firm, well known. I know you're here. So please just show yourselves. I can feel you. Normally, I see people come in like in a vestibule, that kind of thing, but they're like right in my space, right in this life. It's like, that's how I feel these two. Ho, 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 ho. Why are you guys doing this? Talk to me. Tell me, what are you doing here? They just wanted to make sure that they got through, and they really don't know the protocol, they said. Somehow they did this on their own. I think a lot of people are brought to me through the way I said. So I'm just trying to get myself. I'm trying to adjust to their energies because they're right on me, and so it's a little difficult. It's like I'm not facing looking at them. I'm like got them on me, sort of. Okay, so how are you guys? Let me start. Let me do this. Let's start with John first because you're the cousin, and I'm just going to turn around inside myself so I can see you where you are here. This is very odd for me to do. It's a first, but what do you, wow. Okay, we'll just do it this way. That's what you guys want to do. John, how are you doing over there? I think he was upset that he left his business behind. He left things undone. He had ideas he wanted to have finished or do. He had planned out, and they didn't get done. Do you know anything about that, Joan?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Do you want me to elaborate at all?
Well, the way it's looking to me, he's showing me things. I see like curlicues or round things and different colors, and I don't really know what it means. He's really so close to me. It's hard for me to even see it. But he's like so close to me. He wants to get this through. And I'm just saying, well, just back up a little bit because you're too close. Let me just hold him there and go to Kurt. Mm-hmm. So Kurt, tell me what you want to say. It's like he's saying there's something John wants to get through to you about this design or this something he was working on that needs to be finished, or is somebody finishing this or not doing it right, or he needs to give them instructions? Does that make any sense to you, Joan?
Yeah, to an extent, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he wanted it done, and he's very intense. If this is John, he's very intense. I could be getting the two of them mixed up because they're so close to me, but the one is intense. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, the one I'm talking to you right now is very intense. I mean, he's very intense. I would say a perfectionist. Mm-hmm. And a very artistic nature and likes things done right. And in his mind, it was a big something. I don't know if it was physically big or just emotionally, or does that make sense?
Yes.
It's all of that. Okay. So I think he's hanging around, or he's spending, in my mind, he's spending too much time trying to see this through or get it done since he wasn't able to do it. Is there anybody who, what can we do here, Joan? What is it with him? What is it that it's bothering him so much? Do you know?
They were building a building. The building got done. They were in the process of getting this building. It was almost finished, where it was going to house his design firm and then an architecture firm. So, quite a bit was left up in the air, and he had just bought another firm as well. So, there was quite a bit that was unfortunate.
Okay, has it been finished now?
It's all finished. Lots of things have happened very positively around it, so he could put his mind at ease.
Okay,
as far
good.
As he's looking over, I think he's been
Yes,
very helpful to the people.
Because,
that have
I just got chills again. You just something you said made me get the thought in my mind that the reason he's been sticking around so closely is because when he died, like suddenly or unexpectedly, this was big in his mind, and he hasn't been able to let it go. They often say what you die with is what you take with you, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, well, I've just heard that. Who knows if it's true, but that's what I've heard. And so Kurt, to an extent, has a bit, not as much as John, and he hasn't been able to let go of it. So what we need to do is just say what you've said, that everything has been completed to, and you believe it would have been to his satisfaction, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, John, you can let go. You would be pleased. So you can let go, and Kurt, you can let go. And listen, guys, what you need to do, it's been a long time now. What, 4 years? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 3.5, 4 years, whatever, since this happened, and you need to let it go because you're dead now. You're dead. I have to put it to you this plainly, and you don't belong here in this sphere anymore, and you're just impeding your progress and your happiness. So you guys need to turn around, and you need to face the light. Leave all those issues and worries and concerns behind. They no longer concern you. They can't concern you. There's nothing more you can do. You need to go to the light. Like I just talked to Steve Jobs, and from there he's able to work through people and their minds and give them thoughts. And if you all go to the light too, to this other place, then you'll be able to work from there if you so desire. But where you are, you can't. It's just not working, so you have to leave. Everything is okay here. Everybody's all right. So look for the light and just go to it. I gave him some energy to go on. I'm asking the high beings to come and get these guys. Come on and get these guys. They need your help. They need to get turned around. So now they'll be fine. I feel they'll be fine. Paul, that was very interesting. To me, anyway. I never had anybody, a couple of guys grab me like that. So, Joan, I hope you feel better. They'll be fine now. They were always fine, but they just were, they couldn't let go. Yeah.
Well, they've probably been trying to be very, very helpful.
Yes.
To many people here.
Probably, but it wasn't helping them. And the timeline, they just don't realize that so much time has passed. It's not, their time is not our time, and vice versa. So what we want you to do here is, I say it must be the beings talking to me. We want you to relax. You've done all you can. You did a good job by contacting them and helping them on their way. And have you blessed the building? Has anybody blessed the building or done a ritual around it or over or through it? It needs to have it done.
I don't know. Okay.
It would be a good idea. Somebody just told me do that, and it will help release the guys.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Whatever you want to do and in whatever way you want to do it will help release them, and they can totally go on.
Wonderful.
Okay, darling?
All right. Thank you.
All right, Joan. Nice talking to you. Bye.
Nice talking to you, too. Bye.
All right. Well, so far, this is an interesting day on the other side, at least for me. I hope you all can get a feel of what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing. I hope that's coming through to you. I'm trying to put those energies out so you can travel with me. Well, guess what? It's break time. I'll take a quick break here. I'm going to be right back, take more of your calls, and we'll see what you're up to. Venus Andract with the Dear Venus Show.
Venus thinks the world needs cheering up. Let me tell you, her blog certainly does that. Every week it's a true story about her life and the people in it. Here are a few comments. Oh, thank you. I am laughing so hard. Every Wednesday it's great to start my day like this. And love, love, love to read your blogs. You always make my day. I have emailed your blogs on to many people this year. And your blogs are profound, prophetic, and wise. They make me laugh and cry and everything in between. And, okay, Venus, I almost spewed coffee out of my nose reading this one. Too funny. By the way, her family subscribes to her blog for their own protection. You can subscribe too. Just look for the orange-colored feed at the top of the blog. You can find the latest and often harrowing adventures in Venus's life at godisalwayshappy.com/blog. That's godisalwayshappy.com/blog.
I'm Venus's daughter, Summer McStravick, and I hope you can join me for my online radio show, Flow Dreaming. Visit my website, flowdreaming.com, for all the dates and times it plays. That's Flow Dreaming. I hope to see you there.
Where soul meets body.
Become a power manifester with Summer McStravick's complete Flow Dreaming Library CD set. Finally, here is a real practical technique that you can do in 15 minutes a day to activate the law of attraction in your life. No meditation, no long learning curve. Summer shows you how to easily start rewriting your energy patterns now. Go to flowdreaming.com to listen to actual excerpts of the CDs as you become a power manifester. Visit flowdreaming.com.
You can reach Venus for your own private reading by visiting godisalwayshappy.com and using the contact form to reach Venus. You can also enter to win a free psychic reading with Venus by signing up for her blog or newsletter at godisalwayshappy.com. Venus draws winners' names each week. Plus, you can follow her very interesting life. That's godisalwayshappy.com. You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andract.
Hi, welcome back. Hey, remember those light switches I've been painting? I haven't done it for a while. The ones that have the good mojo in them. Oh my gosh, I've got to do a mojo this hour too, don't I? I've been so carried away with the other side, I totally forgot. Good mojo energy. It's where I put out a lot of good energy from the universe to help you in many different ways. You can read all about it on my website, godisalwayshappy.com. But in the next day or two or three, I'm going to put up 3 brand new wall switches. Every time you switch on the lights, you switch on good mojo. So they will be there. Hopefully I can find time to do some more painting again. Let me see, my website, my art site is artmojos.com, artmojos.com. So they usually sell pretty quickly. You might want to keep checking in. And remember, I do on Facebook have a fan page. Please join me there. That's where I do all my extracurricular work, tell you what's happening, send you photographs, drawings, just tell you odd things that happen that don't make it onto the radio show or my blog. Just go look under Venus Andract. Don't get on my friend page. I don't work that one. It's Venus Andract fan page. All right, winners! Da-da-da-da! It's time for winners! All right, so I have a new mailing list, and I've asked you to please get off the old one and go over to my new one, because pretty soon now I'm going to abandon the old one and just use the new one for postcards, e-postcards, and newsletters. And I've been selecting names for free 15-minute readings with me off the new one. And to get on the new one, again, go to my homepage, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com, look for the blue headphones, click on those. You get a free mojo, and you're on my new newsletter list. Okay, the winner today is, let's see, Catherine McGinnis. Catherine McGinnis. I did email her right before this show. I haven't heard yet, to tell her she was the winner. And then I have a 10-minute reading. For a 10-minute free reading with me. This is only for somebody who's listening to my show in one way or another, and here's their name. This is Rhonda Leslie. Rhonda, R-H-O-N-D-A, Leslie, L-E-S-L-I-E. And Rhonda, this is valid through 3/19/12. After that, null and void. All right, let's get back to the board here. I can't wait to see what we have next. Whoa, what's it going to be? How about Pamela in Roscoe, Texas? Pamela, are you there?
Yes,
Pamela?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Lady V.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. Are you my Pamela?
Yes, I believe I am. I hope I am.
Yes. You're the big mojo, Pamela. You're the one who gets so excited about the mojos.
I jump up and down all the time, yes.
I love it.
We have to.
Yes. Well, what am I going to do for you today?
Well, I have a dear friend of 30 years who has recently lost her sister. And it wasn't necessarily a really good relationship, but she's all way been out of shape. And if you could help me, maybe talk to her sister and, so I could pass along to Jane, well, whatever it is that she might want to pass along.
Okay, so your friend is named Jane.
Yes, and she lost her sister. And her sister's name is Sally.
How old was Sally, and what happened to her?
Oh, boy, that's a good one. Sally is around 66, I believe, years of age.
Yeah.
And the coroner's report said that it was asthma attack.
Okay, okay.
But we don't even know when she had really been dead. They found her. She died alone, unfortunately. And,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, let me see what I can do, Pamela. Your friend's name is Jane. Okay, so I'm going to go into you and then to Jane and then look for Sally, and we'll see where we end up, all right?
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so Pamela, here I come. Woo-hoo, Pamela, in Roscoe, Texas. Pamela. There you go. You're such a piece of work. You're so much fun. You're a ticky little person. You know what I mean by that? Is like you're just a piece of work. I mean, I mean that in a good way. You're different.
Thank you.
You're just different, and you get a kick out of life and things and people, and you just see things differently. I don't think everybody really understands you, but they like you anyway.
Yeah, I am considered kind of out there every now and then.
Yes.
It's just like
I'm sure you are.
It was kind of odd for me to actually speak to your host. I need to speak to a dead person, but now when you hear yourself saying that out loud all the time, it's like, oh, that does sound a little weird. I'm quite comfortable with it, but oh.
Yeah, and people see that in you, but they like you anyway. They like you. Okay, so let me go find Jane. Jane. Your friend Jane. Let me just sit with her a minute. Jane, this is Pamela's friend Venus. I'm going to go check your sister for you and see how she's doing.
Oh.
She feels like she's often been irritable or angry or mad at her sister or doesn't approve of her sister for some way she lived her life or something along those lines.
Absolutely.
Okay. Then good. We have the right Jane. That always helps. Now we're going to go find Sally on the other side. Sally, who died alone of asthma, perhaps. Sally, when did this happen? How long ago? Do you know approximately?
Well, about the 1st of this month, sometime around there. So
not very long. So let's see if I can find her. Sometimes it's harder when they're freshly dead. Well, that's horrible too, isn't it? That sounds awful, like hamburger or something.
Yeah, that's me. I was thinking the same thing. Go ahead.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, Sally, but I see death differently. I wouldn't want to do it myself right now or have my friends or family, but it is, I think, a glorious thing. But we don't need to get into that now. I'm looking for Sally, calling for Sally, Jane's sister Sally. Sally feels annoyed. Sally feels annoyed to find herself dead, to find herself there. She's disgruntled is the word I'm getting. Was she this way in life, unhappy or disgruntled about things? Do you know?
Yes, very much so.
Well, she still is. It's like she didn't have, listen to this, she tells me, like, I didn't even have my hair fixed. Can you believe that?
So her.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh
my God.
Oh my gosh.
So true. You've never met anyone like Sally either, let me tell you.
I could not believe she told me that.
She didn't.
She didn't like being found dead without her hair fixed. She told me it was, she's showing me how her hair looked, and she looked bad when they found her, and she's very annoyed about this. And she said I bloated up a little too, or something. And she said just wasn't at my best, and she said I even smelled bad. Oh, well, tell me more, Sally.
Well, see, she'd been dead for a couple of days. We didn't know.
Yeah, that makes sense, but she's remarking on it. That's the thing that's so interesting to me. So, obviously, she must have hung around a while. And Sally, where are you now? She's not sure. So good. We're going to do a little rescue work here. It hasn't been very long. She's in the in-between, I'd say. So I'm calling on Sally's friends, relatives, the high beings, whomever, whatever does the rescue work, to come and get Sally and soothe her and help her and calm her down. And they're coming to do that. But you know what, Pamela, I really can't do much with Sally right now as she is, because she's in the same mindset as she was when she was alive.
That's what Jane is so fearful about. And Venus, she said something to me. Jane is such a caring person, totally the opposite from her sister. And she said something to me that I would like your expertise on. Jane had offered for Sally, because Sally did show a sign that she was there around Jane. And she had offered, she fell into the wine glass or something. Oh, well, it was apropos. Anyway, Jane offered for Sally, if she was scared, to stick around until Jane got there and she would help her. And I said, oh, my goodness.
No.
So this is what, thank you.
No, that wouldn't be good for Jane or Sally, but don't worry about it now, because she's having beings coming to talk to her, explain to her what's happened, where she is, and where she can go to a better place and be happy. And the way they're talking to her as I'm listening now, believe it or not, there's beings of people telling her that she can go where she can get fixed up, get her hair fixed, get a nice bath, get some good clothes on, where she can be young again, where she can be really pretty. And she's listening to this, and that her sister can visit her there at some point, and she's listening to this. It's an odd one, but people are, just because people die and are dead doesn't mean they become angels or they get the full understanding. They're all different. Deaths are all different, but she's fine. She's going to be fine. They're looking after her. But what I want you to tell Jane is to let her go. And if Sally manages to come around again, just say, it's okay. You're all right. Go to the light. Go to the light. I don't really encourage dead people to stick around. They can come and visit just as long as they can go back, because it's not good for anybody, I think.
Right.
It's
I thought myself, I felt the same way. It was like, especially Sally, because, she was one scary character at a lot of times in her life. And, so it's a good thing. But we're going to spread her ashes, and I'm hoping that she'll be gone. And into a good place. But Jane is so heavy-hearted because at the end she didn't do much of anything for her. And, because it was just a matter of self-protection, actually.
Yeah, and tell Jane she did the best she could not to worry about it. Her sister's being taken care of, and now it's time for Jane to live without encumbrances, to live clearly, without encumbrance, okay?
Oh,
and I'm going to give a mojo. I'm going to give a mojo. You can stay on the line. You can whoop with me. That would be fun.
All right.
Let's see. I think, it's been kind of heavy today. Interesting today on the other side. Do you realize we've been on the other side all day? We haven't even looked into people here in the Earth life. One of those days.
That's
Interesting.
a good day.
Yeah, it's a good day. So I'm talking to beings. I'm asking what they want me to bring through in the way of a mojo for all of us and for all our dead friends and relatives too. How about that one? Something to set our mind. They're saying to set your minds at ease, to bring peace of mind, harmony into your lives, to take the pain away, to replace it all with peace, harmoniousness, happiness, cheerfulness, to know that everything is always okay, always well and fine. Woo! 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 Zoom! Woo! 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 Mojo! Mojo! Wow! Wow! Mojo! Woo! 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 Wow! Woo! 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 Yeah. How you doing, Pamela? Woo!
Yeah.
So there it is for all of you out there in Radio Land and all of you out there on the other side and wherever else you may be. Peace, happiness, love, good luck, and charm. Any last thing you want to say, Pam? Because we're going to be leaving here in a couple minutes now.
Oh, no, but we just need to kick up our heels so that the others that have gone on can kick theirs up, too.
Yes, because, they worry about us like we worry about them. It's especially hard for them a lot of times because they can't often reach us, and they're trying so hard, and they do everything, and they're trying to help, and they can see us getting ready to walk into holes in the ground or something, and they're yelling, "Stop! Watch your step!" And we just go plunk right in. We don't listen. We don't hear. Yeah. Okay, darling.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too, Pamela. It's been nice seeing you. All right. So we had a bye-bye. Okay, well, I had a good time today, and I'm just going to leave you with a little more mojo magic here. Woo, 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 woo. And the beings are telling me that has something to do with mysteries being solved. I have no idea what that means. See if any mysteries are being solved in your life. Keep an eye open. This is Venus Andrecht with the Dear Venus Show, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. All right. Thank you very much. All righty. Bye-bye. Bye.